All right. Once again, thank you all for your patience. We will get started. Once again, very good afternoon to everyone. I hope my voice is loud and clear. Before we get going, I would obviously like to quickly run through a few slides regarding the company that Mayur and me represent, followed by the solutions that we have on offer. And then we will move into today's topic itself. Let's get started. So WEP, that is WEP, is a 20-year-old company as of today. WEP was initially known as Wipro E Peripherals, which was part of Wipro itself. We were, in fact, the peripherals manufacturing division of the company. And in 2000, we became an independent entity. So from there on, the company has evolved, and we have multiple directions as of today, wherein which we have evolved and become the pioneers, in fact. And we have multiple solution offerings, which I will show you in the next few slides. As you can see, we have managed print services. Secondly, digital transformation solutions, which covers two different types of solutions, that is Web GST and Web DMS. And thirdly, intelligent office automation solutions. Audience, just want to check if my voice is clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move forward. Now that I've just given you a quick gist of what the solutions we have on offer, I'm just going to put up a slide that you're seeing right now where you can get a quick idea of what exactly each solution is. And I will run through a few brief lines on each of these offerings. So on the corporate end, we have managed print services, where we provide printing services for close to 300 plus customers. Now, the business here is such that we deal with printing hardware based on customer requirement, and they would be charged per print. Aside this, we also have something called asset management, wherein the customer would not have to worry about his or her print hardware at all, entirely. All of that will be taken care from our end, including service and also the peripherals and in terms of cartridges and other accessories that is needed. Aside this, we also handle complete nationwide service and support. That is it on the managed print services side. Another thing I would like to mention is we are in fact known as India's #1 MBS company. Now, Web Solutions also offers the latest range of best-selling office automation solutions. We are the authorized distributor alongside Ricoh Japan to sell Ricoh products in the country. We have a wide range of MFPs, that is multifunction printers, on offer. Aside this, we also undertake the service and support part of it across the country as well. Let's move on to serial number 3 and 4 that you see on the right end. So this is the digital transformation solution side. Let me quickly run through GST for you. I'm sure all of you have heard of the term GST. We have an all-in-one GST solution that covers all your GST needs. That is right from filing, reconciliation, data preparation. We have close to 60 to 80 plus methods of data validation built onto the solution. Aside this, we have modules for e-way bill automation, e-invoicing, and we also undertake most ERP integrations, right from SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, and other custom API integrations as well. We also have a standalone solution called Managed GST Filing, wherein we have a dedicated team in-house that would undertake all your GST filing and reconciliation requirements. We prepare it, we validate it, and then we give it to you back for filing. So that's it on the GST end. Talking about DMS, we offer tailored custom solutions with the help of two modules mainly, that is document repository, document management, and secondly, workflow automation. So the foundation is actually laid based on these. With the help of this, we are able to build custom process automation for various already existing industry processes. With this, we are able to cater to various departments in an enterprise, in an organization. We're able to help HR, procurement, finance, legal, and so on and so forth. a lot of other divisions as well. So the slide that you're seeing will give you a little more idea of what exactly this document management solution is. So today we will closely talk about employee records management. This is in fact a used case of our solution itself. So that's it on the introduction end. Let's move forward. So a quick view of our customers. All right. We do have a short and sweet demo of our solution today. Of course, the platform demo would be a lot more to cover, but due to time constraints, we cannot completely show you what there is today. But nevertheless, I would like to launch a quick poll for all of you so that I get an idea if and if you are actually exploring any solutions at the moment. Let me just launch it right now. Okay. So are you currently looking for, would you be interested in a free demo of our HR ERM solution? I've launched a poll on the screen for all of you. Let me leave this on for the next 1 minute. Please note that our team will be able to reach out to the ones interested in the next 2 or 3 working days. And we will be able to schedule a free demo of our entire ERM solution itself. Please note that we do have a demo towards the end of the session today, but that will be only a small section of the solution. All right. Meanwhile, I would also like to know what is it that you are expecting from today's session. And I do believe that most of the audience here today is from the HR end itself. Okay. Thank you for your inputs. Let me end the poll right now. All right. Moving forward. So this is the webinar agenda as of today. I'm just going to quickly keep this on and move forward. Okay. I would like some input from the audience as well today, and let's not keep this one-sided. So a little bit of interaction would be nice. So noting that obviously most of the audience here today is from the HR end, what are the challenges that you as a HR or you from the HR department are facing with employee records management as the core topic? So let us hear you out. You can use uh, the chat module, put down your comments, like how you had responded earlier. So please feel free to add any of your inputs, like what is it that you feel as a HR would be a challenge in terms of employee records management. It can be a traditional problem, it could be something complicated, anything. So let me give a few minutes on this end, because after this, we will have a screen which shows you what are the 4 challenges. Okay, Mr. Mani Vasagam says document storage. Document storage, okay, okay. All right, that is a rather very traditional and straightforward issue that most HRs will face in terms of employer records management, okay. Mr. Sharad says security concerns. All right, definitely there is, okay. Anything else? So well, let me just add an input. Like for example, Mr. Mani Vasagam has mentioned saying document storage. So what are the other issues that are linked to document storage? What about search? Let me just add saying search. So you would want to ideally search the documents as well, right? So that is also a linked challenge for sure. So it doesn't just end with document storage. I hope the audience agrees with me on this. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, Mr. Vishwakumar says employee complete records existing and okay, great. Yeah. So I believe, Mr. Vishwa, you have a challenge trying to search and retrieve employee details in terms of records. Okay, that can be a challenge for sure. Okay. Yeah. So common challenges, right? But these are not just common challenges; these are core challenges, in fact, for the HR. Ideally, these are the ones that need to be solved in the first attempt. Okay, great. Anyone else? I can give another 30 seconds before we move forward. All right, we will move forward. Okay. Okay, so these are the four challenges. Of course, please note that there are a lot more challenges, but some of the core challenges that you're seeing here is tracking employee documents. Obviously, this starts with storing the documents itself, be it on the cloud or if you're doing it manually as well. The second concern being possibility of data breach, right? This is obviously a concern of security, as Mr. Saradar mentioned. Securely sharing employee records data with auditors and BGV team. Now, this is sharing your data to external stakeholders. That is not from your company. You as a HR might have a consultancy team that might be working with you from the external end. So sharing data to them on a constant basis, you might have the issue of security breach. You might also be wondering if it is a safe route to actually send out data that is sensitive data, right? Something that belongs to your organization. What if the data will not be safe enough to share? And you also need a medium to communicate, wherein both the ends are able to interact, also able to see the progress, task activities. All of this comes under this cloud. And lastly, search and retrieval of employee documents. Again, this is linked to the storage itself. All right. So I hope all of you agree with me on this end. Of course, there are other challenges as well. For example, let's say when it comes to automation, right? Automation will cover, in fact, as we proceed with the slides. There's also another challenge wherein you will have to wait for a specific period of time for approvals. You will have a specific hierarchy in your company, the HR hierarchy. Each of them will have to wait for the task or status to be approved. This is also a challenge when it comes to the whole HR employee records management and HR onboarding challenge itself. So these are the quick challenges that I wanted to mention. Now, before I go to the next slide, I will launch another poll for all of you. Since all of you had already mentioned certain challenges, let me just launch it again. So which employee records management challenge are you facing as a HR currently? Let me keep this on for the next 1 minute. And if there are any other issues, please mention it on the chat, as we do not have the option to type on this poll. Okay, so a significant number says that tracking employee records is the challenge here. All right. Okay. Okay. I will end the poll right now. I mean, I can give a little more time, but let me anyway proceed forward. I do see that tracking employee records is the current challenge. the main challenge here that most of you are facing. I'll just share the results so that all of you can quickly see what it is. So 71% have mentioned that tracking employer records is the challenge that you're facing. All right. Okay. So moving on to the next slide. Now, how do we solve the challenges for you with our solution here? So first off, tracking missing employee records. Now, we do have a very powerful search engine built onto our solution itself. Now, that will in fact help you with the search and retrieval end. But how do you keep track of missing employee records? Now, we in fact have a vanilla product which will give you a dashboard, but based on customization, we will be able to even build a comprehensive dashboard for your requirements, which will be able to tell you which is the missing employee record and what type of record is missing, in fact. And aside this, you will have parameters which will enable you to filter out based on location, region, based on date of joining, or based on department, things as such. So a comprehensive dashboard will give you instant data based on your requirements. Please note that this can be customized. Now, aside this, the second challenge that I had portrayed earlier was concerns on securely sharing employee records to your background verification team and external parties. How do you do this? So one is obviously the security end, but what I would like to really focus on here is partner space. Now we have a separate module built on to the solution, which is called partner space, which is a dedicated area where you and your external parties can basically interact, communicate, track your status processes. More onto this during the demo itself. Now, quick search and retrieval. As most of them had mentioned, search and retrieval was the main challenge, right? So we have an advanced search module that is built onto our solution, the search engine. In fact, we have different methods of search, which we will show you during the demo itself, which will give you a better, clearer idea. You will be able to actually narrow down your search more and more. And fourthly, automation, right from your most simple approvals to a lot more complex approvals and any other kind of existing manual workflows that you have in your company that can be totally automated. All right. So please note that our solution is in fact AES 256 bits encrypted. We also offer folder level security. All your subfolders, all of that has the same level of encryption, in fact. All right. Now, aside this, as I mentioned, the other module that we have is the document repository, which is in fact tagged to our workflow automation. So all your employee records will be directly collected and it will be sorted and it will sit inside the folders that you are designated for. So our document repository works hand in hand with the workflow automation. As I mentioned, we have a dedicated partner space which helps for collaboration with your external stakeholders. And the required folder structure, all of that can be defined based on the organization and the hierarchy that you have. Now, as I mentioned, you will be able to, in fact, build folder structure for your region, your employee ID, departments, all of this can be done. Now, onto the automation end, we in fact have a built-in workflow designer screen. which works on a more drag and drop form. So right from the most simple workflows to complex, all of that can be designed and executed very seamlessly on the solution itself. Now, here's a quick, rather simple method of understanding how exactly the onboarding process might work in your company. This is a very rather simple one. Now, please note that you might have a few other elements added on to this, but a rather simple one to understand. You have the offer letter generated that will be sent to the candidate, followed by which the candidate will respond and send back required documents as such to the HR for review. Now that HR team, which might have 4 to 5 or more than that, will have to approve one by one, and then post which it will be stored to the platform itself. Now this is a rather simple one. So let me hand it over to Mayur from here on. A quick introduction about Mayur. He is the subject matter expert and he has been handling webinars for close to 6 months as of now. He has immense knowledge on the platform as well. So let me hand it over to him. Mayur, over to you.
Thank you, Siddharth. Good evening, everyone. So we'll begin. Siddharth, shall I share the screen?
Yeah, just let me know if you're able to share, Mayur. Otherwise, I will give you permission.
So is my screen visible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So hello, everyone. We'll have a quick demo on our DMS, as Siddharth mentioned very briefly, on many features and the options which is available on the DMS. We'll quickly go through some of the features which is available on our DMS with respect to HR management. So whatever you are currently seeing on the screen, it's our login page where we give username and password. So once you log into the system, right, you will have a home page with multiple tags, wherein each tile have their own features or its own characteristics, where I'll just give a very small introductions to each tile, which is majorly used in the DMS. So we have, as Siddharth mentioned earlier, we have two modules in our document management system. One is document storage. Along with that, we have something called business automation process, that is called workflow automation. So here in our DMS, we have something called My Files department, projects, partner space, and share space. These are the spaces or the features which is completely with respect to document storage, wherein we have a one more tile called workflow, which is completely with respect to workflow automation. To differentiate with this 5 document storage system, right, wherein we have something called personal space and collaborative spaces. So personal space in the sense that user who uploads the documents or to save the document, that document can be accessed by only that particular user, wherein collaborative spaces, the multiple other people can have access to that document with some folder level or file level permissions. So here, My Files is the space where we call it as a personal space, wherein department, project, partner space, and share space, we call it as a collaborative spaces. So here, to give an introduction on collaborative spaces, department tile, which majorly belongs to a particular department, and the members of that particular department, for example, HR department, you have a n number of HRs, and you have a set of documents which may be accessed by multiple HR. So all these HR related documents can be stored under a department section called HR department. You can have it as a HR department. Wherein projects, we can collaborate with different department members within an organization, wherein, for example, you have something agreements or many other things where that collaboration needs to be happen between HR department and a legal team. So in those scenarios, you can use a project section and you can have a place where you can do a collaboration with the legal team and also with the members of HR team. And we have a one more space called partner space, where in partner space, the collaboration will be done with the external users. So we have one of the users like partners users. In that, they'll have access to DMS and they're not belongs to the organization. For example, in many of the enterprises, the BGV verification, that is background verification, will be done by third-party users, or sorry, third-party customers, so partners. So if you want to share the document between your organization and the third-party organization who is doing the BGV records, you can use a partner space. You can give them access so that whatever the verification records, they can directly upload to DMS and it can be accessed by you. And we have one more space called share space. It's a very generic space where all the members of the organization who have a DMS credentials will be belongs to share space automatically, and you can share the documents directly over there. For example, like newsletters and everything, so that everyone can have access to it. So these are the very basic introductions to the tiles or the features which is available on the DMS. Now we will directly jump into the automation process with respect to candidate onboarding, wherein Siddharth showed in one of the tile how candidate can be onboarded using our business process module. I'll just jump into that particular workflow and I'll explain you the how the steps goes around here and how the documents will be stored and how it can be searched. So we have a module called workflow automation. When we get into that, we will have options to initiate workflows, that is initiating the process of candidate onboarding or any other processes. So we have something called candidate onboarding over here. If whatever you are seeing, there are multiple other workflow automation which we have done for different people or internally which we are using. So here we have one of the workflow automation that is called candidate onboarding, where we will be taking you guys into this through this workflow. We can initiate this particular workflow and we will be filling the details like whom we are onboarding and the personal email ID of that particular user. Along with, we will share the offer letters. For example, I'll just take one of the user as Rohan and I'll just give one of the email ID. I'll just give a generic email ID and I'll upload an offer letter. So I have prepared an offer letter for this particular candidate. So I'll just upload that particular offer letter. And once we fill these details, right, I'll just submit this. So now HR has submitted the request in DMS with by giving all the details of that particular candidate and offer letter. Now system will automatically send out an email to the candidate by requesting the to upload the document which is the required for the onboarding process. So I'll just move into the email. So if you can see here, we have got the email from the DMS system automatically where it says task is assigned. This message to inform you that is task is pending with you. So it will give you who requested this particular thing, when it is due, all those details, and they'll have a link over here saying that open link. So they can click on this open link. It will open up the form fields. It will ask them to upload the documents. You can see here, there is a form field called requested documents. So you can upload it over here. So that candidate can upload all the requested document, that is Aadhaar, PAN, degree, previous employment records, photos, everything. So they can upload it over here. So they will have options saying that from PC and they can select it from their local system, and whatever the offer letter which is been provided to that particular employee, right, that can be that will be available in the document section. They can preview that particular document over here itself, or else they can download it and they can save it on their system also. So now what I'll do is I'll just upload some of the documents, that is maybe Aadhaar card, degree certificates, mark sheets, PAN card, photos. So I have uploaded all the 4 documents. Here I may need to give the Aadhaar number. I'll just give us some random number, and also PAN number. I'll just give it also as a random number. And once they fill all these details, they can click on the complete task. So once a candidate submits all the documents, right? Now HR has to review that. What kind of a documents they have uploaded, whether they have uploaded a valid document or not, and they have to take a decision. So for that, what we will do is once the candidate uploaded the documents, it will give a task to the HR to check whether that particular documents uploaded, whether it's proper or not. All those details that can be checked by the HR. So you have a task over here in the task menu. The HR can open it up and they can see whatever the details filled by the candidate, the documents uploaded by the candidate, all those things can be seen over here in the document section, and they can go to history and they can see when they completed all those details. They can see it on the history tab, that is audit trail of this complete particular flow. And they can go to form and they can see all this, they can check it saying that these are the documents are correct, and they can give the employee number saying that EMP, maybe I'll just give it as a July 28, and they can select which location this particular employee belongs to, and they can approve it. So if they reject it, it will go back to the employee to re-upload, recheck the document and re-upload the document. If they approve it, it will go ahead and it will store these documents in the DMS system in a proper folder structure. So I'll just go to the place where the documents will get uploaded. We have configured for this workflow, we have just configured one of the section in the project. So we have created one of the project called new test, and we are storing all the documents over here. So the folder structure will be the parent folder will be something called employee records. Under that, the location wise folders will get created. Under that, the employee wise folder will get created. Under that, all the documents will get stored. As it's a different multiple folder structure is required, it may take a bit time to get created the folder. So I'll just, for a time being purpose, I'll take the folder which is already created and I'll go ahead. So you can see there is a folder structure which has been created before, and the documents has been uploaded by the workflow. You can see here the system, right? So it means that the documents are uploaded through workflows. If a person who uploads manually a document, it will show it is uploaded by that particular user. After copying all these particular documents which has been uploaded on the workflow to the destination folder, what system will do is the system will tag that particular document with the employee details. For example, you can see here employee number, employee name, email, Aadhaar number, PAN and branch. So using these tagged data, we can do an advanced search on the DMS. Oh, sorry. We can do the search. So for example, see, you want to get Aadhaar card of all the employees who belongs to Bangalore location, or you want to get all the records of employees from a Bangalore location, right? So what you can do is you can take this particular metadata, we call it as a metadata, we can call it as a tagging of our document, or we can call it as an indexing of a document. So we can, using these details, we can do an advanced search in the system, so that getting the details or fetching the employee records or tracking the employee records in DMS is much more easier. So I'll just take one of the employee, this one. Okay, so I'll take branch location as a Bangalore and I'll do a search over here. I'll say meta class as employee record management, and I'll say location, branch location contains Bangalore, or I can say East Bangalore. I can click on apply. So once you click on apply, the system will search the document and it will fetch the document whichever whoever the employees whoever belongs to the Bangalore location. You can see there are some around 10 documents is been listed out already here, which belongs to Bangalore location. There will be much more documents which is belongs to Bangalore document, which will be completely listed out here. And you can just click on info button to get other details of that particular document, like whatever the metadata details over here. Clicking by info method, and you can even preview the document directly over here on the system, and you can get the details of that particular document. And also you can share this particular document. For example, you want to share this particular employee detail with audit people or with BGV people. You can just click on the share button and you can copy this link. This will be a public link where anyone in the system can access this particular link, or you can just email that link. You can, for example, you want to email it to someone. Maybe I'll just give some random email. So I want to send this particular document to this one. I can just email it. I can change the subject and the message. And if I send it through email, they'll get a link over a mail and they can click on that link and they can access the document through the link. Here, what we have other option also, we can control on the download. I can say through that link, the user cannot download the document. Or I can say link expires on after a day, after a week, so that after a week, that link through that link, the document will not be able to access by the end user. So this kind of a share option is also available is in the DMS. So along with that, as I mentioned you guys before that, when we are into a collaborative spaces, for example, the HR activities will be handled for Bangalore by 2 to 3 HRs. For Delhi, there will be a different team. When it comes to collaborative spaces, you want to restrict that, saying that Bangalore location employee details cannot be accessed by the Delhi HRs, or maybe Delhi employees records cannot be accessed by Bangalore HRs. So in those scenarios, I can have something called folder level permission. I can give it saying that Bangalore user will not have access. For example, let me take any role and I'll say project user. Project user cannot see this Bangalore folder, or project user can only view this particular Bangalore folder. So this kind of a restriction can be added on the DMS at the folder level, so that even though you are in a collaborative space, you will have a access control on each folders or documents. You can maintain so that there is no mistake or there is no misuse of documents in the DMS will happen. So we can keep the control till that level in the DMS system. I think that's all from my side on the demo part.
Thank you so much, Mayur. Thank you so much for your time. That was a very short and sweet demo. So if you would like to drop off, you can, but just hold on for 5 minutes. Let's see if the audience have any questions, and based on that, we can decide. That's okay with Mayur. Okay with you, Mayur.
Sure. We can get into Q&A.
All right. Okay. So I think you can stop sharing. I will share back my screen.
Yeah, I have stopped this.
Okay. All right. So that was it on the demo end. Of course, we could not show the entire platform itself today. There's a lot more on offer to show. But this kind of more or less brings us to the end of the session. So I would like to know if there are any questions as such in terms of the demo that you just saw, or if there's anything else that we can help you out with. I'd also like to launch one last poll, which I actually wanted to launch during the demo but could not. Let me just launch this right now. Are you currently actually looking for a HRERM solution for your organization? So there are three options for you. Let us know what your input is. I will leave this on for the next 1 minute. So dear audience, any questions regarding the solution? If there's anything in specific, please put it on the chat, or you can even use the Q&A tab. All right. Thank you for your inputs. Okay, audience, any questions? Anything that we can help you out with? Okay, Mr. Sharad has a question. What platform is this hosted on? So the solution is actually hosted on Azure, our cloud repository as well. Okay. Any other questions? Please note that our team will reach out to the ones who've shown interest in our polls. Based on that, we can schedule a free demo or, to understand what exactly is your requirement, and we will be able to take it forward from there on. Any questions that Mayur and me can answer for you, please put it on the chat. Okay, I do not see any questions as of yet. But okay, not a problem. So I will assume that there are no questions, but nevertheless, we will reach out to the ones who've shown interest for our demo. So please expect a call in the next 3 to 4 working days, and we will be able to take it forward from there on. We're starting with a free demo with a one-to-one call. So on that note, we will close the session for today. Thank you all for your time and having the time to have spent with us this Thursday. And a special thanks to Mayur for taking time out from his schedule and running us through a short demo. Thank you, Mayur.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. On that note, let us close for today. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.